Welcome to Sonata Ghost Project. I'm Lucan Morn. Today we're looking at 5 paranormal mysteries that invoke fear and invite analysis. Roll tape. Some viewers might find this clip disturbing. It was apparently filmed on Halloween and depicts members of a family on a visit to a store. A young boy is waiting his turn in line at the counter when suddenly he behaves as if he's been struck in the face and falls to the floor. The clip shows him being audibly upset in the aftermath. So what happened here? The boy's movement before he falls looks unquestionably like he's received a violent blow. Is this store haunted by some malevolent force that's empowered on All Hallows Eve to pierce the ghostly veil? How else can we explain it? The boy was only imagining a scenario in which he was struck by an adversary, probably a supernatural one themed for the occasion. As a former boy myself, I can assure you, this happens. When he throws his head back, being very small and burdened by a heavy coat, he simply loses his balance. The narrator on the popular Paranormal channel where I found this clip stated that when the boy falls to the floor, he immediately cries. That's clearly not true. He doesn't cry at all, but only whimpers a little, and only when he sees his candy scattered across the floor. That issue being resolved, he makes an immediate recovery and eagerly takes his place at the counter. Not troubled by bad spirits that haunt the establishment, but in the same good spirits in which he entered. This clip was captured on a Ring camera and uploaded by the homeowner. The footage shows what appears to be a ghostly, semi-transparent woman in pale clothing at the right of the frame, traversing the property and then slowly vanishing as she walks away. The video's caption reads, "I think my Ring video doorbell picked up a ghost, the lady in white. Comment below." A lot of people did comment, some stating how freaky the apparition is, even congratulating the uploader on the quality of the evidence he captured. So is this a ghost? A phantom woman in white revisiting the neighborhood where she once resided? How else can we explain this? This effect is caused by a combination of factors. The woman is walking near the edge of the camera's light coverage, where the exposure drops off sharply. Ring cameras, especially at night, often increase digital sensitivity to pick up motion, which can create soft edges, motion blur, and reduced contrast. Because she's moving through a poorly lit area, the camera struggles to define her clearly. It draws in as much detail as it can, but her pixels blend with those of her surroundings, which are much easier to render by virtue of being stationary. The result is an inconsistent pattern that varies in detail depending on the speed of her movement. Eventually, she strays so far from the light source that the camera can no longer distinguish her at all. In reality, this is not a ghostly wandering lady in white or any other color. It's just the next door neighbor with someplace to be. This event was captured during a visit to the Field Museum in Chicago. As a young woman films herself in front of a pterosaur, the towering creature appears to lower its head, as if eyeing her curiously. This clip shows up on paranormal channels because some viewers have questioned whether this phenomenon was caused by something supernatural inhabiting or manipulating the life-size dinosaur replica. Some even insist on it. A disconcerted pterodactyl ghost is your best bet. I'll make this quick. This is an example of perspective distortion, which you often see when a camera is tilted upward at a tall object with straight lines. It's the same effect that causes tall buildings to lean or bend in some photos. A lot of smartphones also have wide-angle lenses, which cause images to warp toward the edges of the frame, so that could also be a factor. Just more ways that cameras lie. So don't worry about the restlessness of the long-gone creatures whose likeness is represented here. They're at peace now. This is another security cam capture. In this clip, which I found on a popular paranormal channel, we see a hazy, glowing white figure seemingly lingering in the homeowner's backyard, very near the house. That it has presence and intent is attested to by its shadow as the figure continues its progress beyond the camera. We can even hear the camera emitting a siren noise intended to drive away intruders. But this visitor is unfazed. So what manner of creature or phantom has been captured here? Yeah, it's a bug, crawling on the house out of focus near the camera lens. What we're seeing is likely either an appendage or something the insect is carrying. It reminds me very much of the knobby knee of a grasshopper, like this one I captured on my own security camera. Of course, this looks quite different because this footage was captured on night vision, which in combination with the bright light washes out the color. The owner of this clip uploaded it to r/ghosts with hashtags declaring it some kind of spirit. Well, bugs can be creepy too. This footage was originally uploaded to YouTube 18 years ago, but it's still making the rounds at paranormal channels where it leaves some viewers stunned. It was recorded from onboard a train traversing the Barossa Valley in South Australia and depicts what appears to be a ghostly figure clad in white, crossing the railroad tracks as if traveling a lost and forgotten path. Some commenters observe that this is some of the most convincing paranormal footage they've seen. Some commented on how frightening they find it. Are we looking at some of the most compelling, decisive evidence for the paranormal ever caught on film? It's just some crap on the window. If you'll notice, the figure's position in relation to the window frame never changes. That's because it's stuck there, and the illusion of movement is created by the train's progress around the curve. So we're looking at some residue on the glass. Not a ghostly revenant following a familiar ancient path, but likely the earthly remains of a small creature that inadvertently crossed the path of a speeding train and found its permanent rest. Or it could be birch. Thank you for watching. Disagree with some of my conclusions? That's fine. Let's be cool about it. Until next time, I'm Luke and Mort.